Johnny, Neil, and Henny.
Hey guys, so we're going to tell you guys our picks for the playoffs, and let's get started. Remember to like this video, it really helps us out. We really appreciate that, so thanks for the like. Okay, we're going to start off with the West, so Vancouver or Chicago? I'd have to pick Vancouver because they're just such a strong team, and Chicago is not what they used to be last year. They just got into the playoffs. Like, come on, they had to wait for Dallas to lose in order to be in the playoffs. So I don't think that's some like strong dedication team that could win a cup. So I'd have to go with Vancouver on this one just because they have the elements of, you know, just winning against the Chicago Blackhawks. So next we have San Jose and LA. It's not really a hard pick here. I'd have to go with San Jose because LA, Kopitar's out, and he's like one of their main guys, and who else is on LA when you think about it, besides their goaltender Jonathan Quick. But if he does have if he's on a hot streak, San Jose could be in trouble. But I honestly think San Jose, just because they have such like a strong team like Heatley, Joe Thornton, Merlot, they just have it, and their defense is all right, and their goaltender Niemi, if he can pull it off like he did for the Chicago Blackhawks, they should have no problem in the series. So I'm gonna have to go with San Jose. Next would be Detroit and Phoenix. I'm gonna have to say Detroit because they have so much experience. Their team is so experienced. They have a lot of cups. Phoenix just doesn't have that scoring ability. They just have friggin' Shane Doan, and the other team's just full of young guys, and I can see them in the future maybe, but not right now. Guys, I'd have to go with Detroit. Besides, they wear the condoms in this series. That's all I'm saying. Next, we have the Ducks in Nashville. This is going to be a weird series here. Not many people like to watch these teams, but I'd have to say the Ducks because they have Getzlaf, Perry, and they have the goaltending, and they just seem like they could sweep Nashville. But if Pecorine is playing good for Nashville, it could be a problem. But I can't see Nashville continuing to get past the Ducks because the Ducks just seem like they're that kind of solid team right now. So then it's Vancouver and the Ducks. I'm just going to have to say Vancouver because they are the solid team. They have all the chemistry. They've been trying so hard the last 2 years to get to the Cup Finals, and they seem like they'll have it this year. They're just that strong team, guys. Then it's San Jose, Detroit. I'm going to have to say San Jose on this one because Detroit does have the experience, but San Jose, their guys are just so determined to prove everybody wrong. Plus, like last year, how they swept them 4-0. I think it'll be a good series, but I think San Jose will prevail out of the two. And then, of course, we have Vancouver and San Jose. I'm going to say Vancouver on this just because it's going to be really hard it's going to be really tight if it's friggin' Vancouver and San Jose because they both have good players. And their goaltending is crazy, especially Vancouver's with Luongo. I'm going to have to say Vancouver, guys, just because Vancouver, they try so hard. They're just there to win, and I think they're going to go that far. They're going to be there in the Cup Finals, guys. You watch. Now it's time for the East. East side! We have Washington and the Rangers. I'm going to have to say the Rangers because their defense is just so good. They're a defensive team, and with Lundqvist, if he's good, the team's going to play good. They can score some goals. And Washington, they have Ovechkin and Seven, but they're the team that just never prevails, it feels like, every year. They're just that team that can pull through and beat Washington and stun them. It's going to be the Rangers that take the series. So then we have Philadelphia and Buffalo. I'm going to say Philadelphia on this one because they are a good team as well. And Buffalo doesn't have that many good players, it feels like, because you don't hear them talk about them that much, and all you hear is Miller, so you can't depend on a goaltender to take you to the Cup Finals, and they just don't have the players, and Philadelphia has players, they have the goaltending, they got to the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and people say that's a fluke, but it's hard to say. Like, they seem like they have the team, so I'm going to say they're going to take the series against Buffalo. And then we have Boston and Montreal now. I'm going to have to say Boston because Montreal is a young team. They're all right, but I'm going to say Boston because Boston is stacked right now. They have all those players, and especially after the trade deadline, they picked up those players. Oh my God, they're crazy, guys. You got to watch out for them. So I'm going to say Boston's going to take a big stronghold on this. They have the defense. They have the goaltending. They have the friggin' forwards, the scoring. And it's going to be a really crazy series, guys. There's going to be tons of fights. It's going to be crazy, guys. We've got to watch that. And lastly, we have Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. I'm a Pittsburgh fan, but I still say the chemistry is not where it was when they won the Cup. With Malkin out, Crosby out, it's going to be a hard decision and hard for the Pittsburgh Penguins to get through this series here. So I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay because they have Stamkos, they have St. Louis, they have LeCavalier, they have the goaltending. They look like the Penguins when they won the Cup. And you got to remember, the Penguins don't have Malkin and Crosby, so there's friggin' two guys off our roster right there. But if Crosby does come back, it could change altogether depending how he plays. But I'm going to have to go with Tampa Bay on this one, guys. Okay, we have the Rangers and Philadelphia. I'm going to have to go with Philadelphia on this one because they just have the power to overcome the Rangers because their scoring ability is going to just defeat the Rangers, and Lundqvist might not be able to hold up. But if he does, I'm sorry, Rangers fans, but I really think Philadelphia just because of their experience last year in the Cup Finals. And yeah, it's just going to be the Philadelphia Flyers. The Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay Lightning. Like I just said, how Boston's so stacked and stuff, but when it comes to playing the Montreal Canadiens, it's going to tire them out. And I'm going to have to say that Tampa Bay is going to take this series, where it's going to be a long series. But yeah, Tampa Bay's going to, Montreal's going to tire out Boston enough for Tampa Bay to sweep them and win. I think Tampa Bay is going to prevail, and Boston's going to be pissed off, but I honestly think Tampa Bay, guys. And then we have Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. I'm just going to say Tampa because they're that young team. They have the players. They have the players of when Pittsburgh won the Cup. That's what I see in them. They're the young Pittsburgh Penguins of 2009. And I can see Tampa Bay going to the Cup Finals against Vancouver. And when it comes down to Vancouver and Tampa Bay, I'm just going to say Tampa Bay because they look like the Penguins, like I keep saying. And Vancouver's just going to fall. And they're just going to break and crumble. All you Vancouver fans are like, you're dead. I'm going to kill you. Unsubscribed. But guys, I'm just telling it how I think it is. Vancouver or Chicago?
I'd have to go with Vancouver, mainly because they dominated the league this year.
San Jose or LA?
Okay, I'd have to go with San Jose because they've got Heatley, Thornton, and Merlot. And LA's really got no one, really.
Detroit or Phoenix?
I'd have to go with Phoenix just because they're the underdogs and it seems like this is their year to pull through.
The Ducks or Nashville?
I'd have to go with the Ducks because they got Getzlav and Perry, and I just think they'll win.
Vancouver or Phoenix?
I thought Phoenix was going to do decent until they got matched up with Vancouver, but I'd have to go with Vancouver on this one just because they'll destroy them.
San Jose or the Ducks?
I'd have to go with San Jose because they have Heaton, Thornton.
Heaton.
Heatley. Wow.
San Jose or the Ducks?
Okay, I'd have to say San Jose because they have Thornton, Heatley, Merlot, tons of other guys. It's just offense on all three lines. Even the fourth line has some decent offense. So I'd have to go with San Jose.
Vancouver or San Jose?
I'd have to go with Vancouver on this one just because San Jose does have good offensive lines and stuff, but I think Vancouver has slightly better offensive lines. So I would have to go with Vancouver.
Washington or the Rangers?
I would go Washington because they were at the top of their league. The Rangers barely made it in. And Ovechkin in 7.
Philadelphia or Buffalo?
I would have to go with Buffalo because Philadelphia is a wing with a circle in it, and a buffalo is a real animal that can kill them.
Boston or Montreal?
I would have to go with Montreal just because of their performance in last year's playoffs. I mean, they took out the top 2 teams, Washington and Pittsburgh, which they deserved to win the Cup, but unfortunately got knocked out by Philly. But if they have the same performance as last year, then I really think Montreal will beat Boston.
Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay?
I would have to go with Tampa Bay, mainly because Pittsburgh has their good players out right now. But I think right now they're pretty even, so it could be kind of close. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
Washington or Buffalo?
I'd have to go with Washington, just because they have all that offense in 1 or 2 lines, and Buffalo, they have offense, but it's not that great. I mean, Alexander Ovechkin's gonna destroy them, I think. And Buffalo does have Miller, but I think Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals will get around him.
Montreal or Tampa Bay?
I think that's going to be a close one, actually. But if Montreal put on the same performance they did last year, then I think they're really going to have a good shot against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay does have good offense with LeCavalier, St. Louis, and Stamkos. But if Montreal can really pull off the performance they did last year, then I think they're going to beat them.
Washington or Montreal?
Based on what happened last year in the playoffs, Montreal did put out Washington. So if it's the same performance, I think they've got a good shot. But I think Washington is going to take it this year. They're not going to make the same mistakes they did last year against Montreal. So I think Washington's going to take it.
Washington or Vancouver for the cup?
Okay, statistically, I think Vancouver's going to win, just because of their points and their players and their whole team chemistry. But personally, I really want Washington to win the cup, just because I want Ovechkin to have a cup.
We want to hear your guys' thoughts on who you think's going to win the cup. And remember to like this video. It really helps us out a lot. And hello to all you new subscribers. It's nice to see your sexy faces on this channel. We will be covering the Stanley Cup playoffs, so watch out for videos. We'll have a lot of them posted, just so you guys know that there's going to be a lot of videos from us in the next coming month. So look out for that, and we'll see you in the next video.